guys, Vicky Amara here. So today I will be responding to your questions on our hobbies again on Reddit. I did enjoy the first video, making it, editing it, and getting it out there. So I decided to make a second one. Welcome, I think. But yeah, let's get into it. So on our first question, we have seasonal hobby. I started bird watching this past summer. I really enjoyed it and seeing all the other animals pottering about as well. If you bird watch, what are some things you found yourself doing in the winter months? I'm tired of doom scrolling just because it's getting cold. I feel you. Okay. I also do just curl up when it gets cold. So yeah, I feel you on that one. And in this case, just because it's now, winter, it's getting colder, doesn't really mean there are no more birds out there. So bird watching is really something you could also do in the winter, because there are going to be actually different other types of birds, migrate. So the migration, there are other types of bird essentially available still, even in winter. So that's something I would recommend, look out for the unique ones that come out in winter. And yeah, if you would like something instead that you could do at home, do indoors, I would recommend reading. Reading is a great one. If you don't want to do it on your phone, then get a book. And the truth is, a lot of books are actually pretty cheap. Actually, at the bookstore, we a lot of times may think, because we're now so used to our phones, it's so easy to just get things. It's like, oh, why go all the way to the bookstore? But physical books are always gonna be a recommendation from me, because they ground you in reality. So try getting a book, say from a bookstore, and you'll really love it. So yeah, that's one thing. And we have the cooking, baking. Those are things you can do indoors. You do have to cook for yourself anyway, so that's something you could try. And there is always, of course, picking up exercise. You can pick up exercise, especially during the cold, the cold months. Exercise, yoga, those are things that could really help you warm up your body. So that's a pretty good, those are some things I would recommend. There's always knitting and crochet. There are also board games you could play at home. If you have other family members, card games as well. So those are good. Those are good. And our next questions, we have looking for suggestions. So I work with my hands and experience pretty painful carpal tunnel. Because of this, I'm having a hard time picking up a new hobby that doesn't cause pain. I used to do yoga regularly, but it became too much on wrists. Same with crocheting and really anything with a repetitive motion. Any suggestions? Well, first things first, it sounds like your hands or your wrists, they need rest. Whenever you feel that much pain in any part of your body, it's recommended you don't continue any activity, especially that would put more pressure on that. Don't forget to go see the doctor. But then in this case, in order to avoid, of course, putting more pressure on that, I would then recommend to you outdoor activities. Outdoor activities like hiking would be pretty good, running, walking. There is also stargazing. Really, you could get like just one little telescope and you could really enjoy your evening. So on to our next question, we have overwhelmed with hobbies. There are a lot of hobbies I want to do that I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. I want to read, go to the gym, try different sports, etc. There are lots of things I want to learn as well, like second language, how to fix and maintain a car, how to play an instrument. How do you go about doing all these types of hobbies without feeling overwhelmed and end up doing nothing? Pick one. Okay, pick one. I can also be very distracted, and there are a lot of things I want to do. I want to paint, I want to draw, I want to blah 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 blah. I want to do them all, but I have to pick one, right? Pick one, focus on it, and you start there. So you could, it depends really. Pick what you like best, as that's what will help you stay focused more. I would follow my instinct. What does your instinct say? Okay, when you look at all these list of hobbies, what is the first thing you say? Hey, let's start with that. Start with that, and then stick to it for a little while. I know you feel like doing everything at once, but trust me, you want to start with one. You want to start with one, and over time, you will actually find ways to incorporate the rest in, little one after the other, you know. But if you try to do everything at once, you're gonna get bored, you're gonna get burnt out. Yeah, no, don't do it. Don't do it. So let's move on. Learning a language. I'm trying to learn a new language, but so far, all I've only been able to recognize. Okay, so I guess they're trying to say they've only been able to recognize the words but not speak or write it. If anyone is learning or has learned a language, what advice do you have for someone like me? Okay, so I have learned other languages before. I actually live in a country where I have to speak a whole another language that is not my mother tongue or the official language of my country. So in this case, learning languages, you have to be open to making mistakes. Be open to making mistakes. I did make a lot of mistakes when I was at the university where I was, studying in Spanish, and I remember there were times when I would actually speak to my colleagues and they would be the ones to say, oh no, you don't say it like that. So you have to be open to making mistakes and let other people correct you. That would be seen, especially if you are in that country, you have more people correcting you. But if you're not in that country, then I would suggest things like practice online, practice it as much as you can. Try to actually speak it, especially like say you're at home, you're trying to say something, try to say it in that language. After saying it in your language, try to say it in the other language as well and see how well you do it. And I would try online exercises in that language. There is online exercises in almost all languages online these days, so you should be able to find something. So that's what I'll try to do. I would try online exercises, the apps, all of that. And you did mention that you are able to recognize the word but not speak or write. When it comes to writing, I would recommend looking at the words, giving yourself more practice and looking at the words. So in this case, when you watch your movies, try to put subtitles in that language. Try to put subtitles in that language. Even on YouTube, if the language is there in the sub section, get it. Try to put your subtitles in that language constantly. That way you'll be able to see it more. You'll be able to, start learning how to write it that way. And when it comes to speaking it, then I would recommend in that case, try to find someone. So if you don't live in a country where they speak that language, try to find someone who speaks it. You should be able to find someone online. And what you could do is you could pay them to have conversations with you. So don't pay them for classes. If you pay them for classes, they're going to bring a syllable. And you don't want that. Okay, you want to pay them just for conversation. If you pay them just for conversation, you're gonna be all right, because that way you guys could improvise and you could actually every day bring a topic, and just 30 minutes or maybe once or twice a week, just 30 minutes in the day, and you just speak to that person, in that language. That's what I would recommend in this case. But of course, as well, online there are also tools where you could speak the language. So there's that. There's always also traveling to that country. So go experience it, see how much of it you actually know by actually living among the people. That's if you have the money for that. If you don't, find someone online and get them to practice with you. So those are the ways I would recommend, trying to practice it more. No more learning of syllable conjugations. Leave all of that now. What you want to do is actually try to speak. Just for fun is asking suggestions of what to do with my time. I work full time, so I get home around 5:30 ish every day. I tend to be tired but want to do something instead of sitting and watching TV all the time. Why? I feel really unmotivated is my issue. I pick up hobbies short term, but nothing really sticks. Painting, piano, gym, etc. Mostly because I just either get bored or discouraged or just lose interest and motivation. Any tips/suggestions? First things first, rest. you know, but sit down and watch a movie. There's really nothing wrong with that, let me tell you. Especially if you're working full time, you're burnt out already, stressed already. There's no reason why you must, you know, rush in, you know, try to do something else. Okay, this idea that just because you take the rest time that is for your rest to rest is, you know, makes you a lazy person or a bad person, that's not true. You really don't need to push yourself if you don't feel motivated to even do it. So in this case, what I see is burnt out, right? You're burnt out, but you still want to do something, because when you say you don't feel motivated, you're unable to stick to one thing for a long period of time, those are signs of burnout. You really don't need to be doing anything else if you don't wanna, because your body is clearly telling you, hey, I don't want to do anything else. You know, so yeah, why just you know. But if you must, of course, because I'm here to give you ideas, right? I'm here. If you must, I would recommend something like, say, yoga, exercise, something gentle. You know, after a long day of work, something gentle would be really good for your body. So maybe that's what she needs to feel motivated again. Yoga, meditation, something calming, dancing as well. Dancing, there are also other types of dance that are like gentle, so you could try those. There is also always cooking, try a new recipe in baking. Those are splendid. So those are something I would recommend to you as well. So yeah, and let us move on. Athletic hobbies. I'm looking for a hobby that builds strength, flexibility, etc., while also being a competitive way to have fun. Not looking for your typical sports, as I'm aged out of school sports and need something you can do as an adult. Thanks in advance for any suggestions. Alrighty, so in this case, adult sports, golf is an amazing one. Golf is great. I don't know any sports that is any more adulty than golf. And there are also other ball types of sports like badminton, tennis, volleyball. So those are pretty good, especially if you have other friends that you want to do them with. Badminton and tennis is a pretty great idea. So those are good. And if you are doing this all by yourself, then you could try dancing. There is also always exercise. It is a good sport too. Okay, and there is swimming as well, so you could try those. And on to the next one. Help me find a hobby. Hey yo, I'm 26. I work full time and have a special needs kiddo who's 4. The past few years have been chaotic, leaving me with not a lot of hobbies and not very many friends. I want to start making friends and doing more things again, but no clue where to even start. Well, first of all, after chaotic, tough years, it is good to know that you're in a better place. That's good, and congratulations. All right. And in this case, there are 2 major points to be, touched. The first one being you want to try a new hobby. The second one being you want to make new friends, right? So those are 2 different things. The truth is they may, have that intersection somewhere, but a lot of times they're actually standalone events, right? And when it comes to things like making new friends, people underestimate the power of just inviting someone over. People underestimate that a lot, and the truth is just invite a friend over, invite someone for coffee, for dinner. And onto that, then a hobby to pick would be cooking, baking, but trying out new recipes that you've never tried before. So trying out new recipes and inviting someone over, your neighbors, friends that you may have even lost contact with. Just give them a call, let them know, hey, I'm available, would you like to go do this or that with me? You'd be surprised, some of them would actually say yes. But if you wanna meet people outdoors, I could recommend something like bird watching. I could recommend something like yoga if you go for yoga classes. If you're trying to do something where you don't go too far away from your kid, then reading, writing, drawing, and cooking or baking new recipes would be what I would recommend. But there, you are very unlikely to actually meet new people per se. So you would have to actually invite someone over. I feel like that would be that other option, the second point you need to touch to get someone to make a friend. Invite someone over, and make a friend. Invite someone over for coffee, outdoors as well. Invite them out for coffee, for dinner. You'll make a lot of friends that way too. So don't underestimate that and try to put yourself out there. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, that's it for this video. I think it's getting pretty long. But yeah, that's it, you guys. I will see you in my next video. I will see what I can make in my next video. I'll make something fun again like this. But yeah, I would love to see you guys in my next video. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to follow me on other platforms for more, even though I literally have nothing on any other platform. Oh Lord have mercy. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to go check out my website, hobvis.com. All of the links in the description below. We do have an investment platform since it's a startup and we are seeking investments at the moment. If that is something that interests you, go check it out, and I will leave you here and leave you with everything else. Okay. Okay, if you have any other questions, drop them in the comment section. I'll try to respond. And that's it for this video, you guys. I will see you in my next one. Okay, bye bye.